In the shadows of the Cabrera cartel, two undercover DEA agents wage a delicate war, risking everything to infiltrate one of the deadliest drug networks in the region. But while they play their dangerous game of deception, a new threat emerges from inside their own homes. They're rebellious teenagers, armed with stolen intel, tactical skills learned by watching their parents, and a desperate need to help a friend orphaned by cartel violence, begin robbing the same criminals their parents are trying to bring down. What starts as a misguided attempt to save a life soon pulls them into a deadly chain of retaliation, exposing secrets, testing loyalties, and placing every family member in the crosshairs of a cartel that shows no mercy. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more movie recaps like this. Now, let's dive in. DEA agents Ray and Andre drove across Texas toward a location tied to illegal activity. When they stopped at a fuel station, Ray stepped out of the van. A man approached and claimed the station had no gas. Ray pointed out that the sign never showed that. The man suddenly raised a gun at Ray, but Andre reacted first and shot him. Ray dragged the body aside, then tapped the van so the rest of the agents could move out. Meanwhile, Cody spun his car in a circle, showing off for his friends. When he parked, he realized another car blocked his door, so he had to crawl out the other side while his friends laughed. Denny, Jesse, and Yvonne were already there when Kyle arrived. They were all close friends and the children of DEA agents. Cody later walked up to a new student named Teresa. They introduced themselves, and he tried to start a conversation. She brushed him off and walked away, which made his friends tease him even more. At the same time, the DEA team raided the target location. They stormed into a room, took down two men, grabbed the packages hidden inside a carton, and pushed deeper into the underground area. They engaged more armed men until Ray spotted timed explosives and ordered everyone to fall back. The leader of the group triggered the detonator, setting off massive explosions. As the agents escaped, a hidden sniper struck one of them. The team fired back, while Ray and Andre pulled the injured agent to safety. They tried to save him, but he died. Back at school, Jesse was called out of class and informed about his father. The rest of the group received the same news, and the weight of it left every one of them shaken. Later that evening, Ray waited at home for Cody. When Cody walked in, Ray looked at the unread message he had sent earlier. He confronted Cody for not responding, and Cody explained he had been with Jesse. Ray said he had spoken with the other parents, and they all agreed the group should avoid hanging out for now because it was not safe. In Mexico, Natalia arrived at the home of her brother Benito. He was already discussing the DEA raid with his men, convinced there was a spy among them. To test loyalty, he handed a gun to Matthew and ordered him to kill his cousin. Matthew carried out the order without hesitation. Natalia then left to see their father, Cabrera, who was ill. Benito told her she should not have come, but she explained she arrived as soon as she heard about their father. Benito said that since she was already there, she could take over some of the operations. He believed the spy problem made the situation too risky for anyone else. At school the next day, the teacher announced they would have a lab session and should choose partners. Cody and Teresa teamed up. During the practical, Teresa explained she was still trying to adjust to El Paso. She said her whole life had been in San Antonio with her friends. They continued the assignment and shared a quiet moment together. That evening, Matthew drove to a cafe where Ray and Andre waited. He entered, approached their table, and made a call to Ray to avoid being overheard. He said Benito had discovered he was the spy and that he could no longer help them. Ray told him he would already be dead if Benito truly knew and promised to arrange protection. Matthew told them about Natalia, Benito's sister, and explained that her presence in town was being kept quiet. After delivering the information, he collected his order and left. The friends met after Jesse asked to see them. He explained that he and his mother were moving to Spain to live with his grandparents. They could no longer afford their home, and his mother's medication would soon run out. Jesse broke down in tears, and the group tried their best to comfort him. Later, Ray drove with Cody and asked if he had heard about Jesse leaving. Cody said yes and asked why the DEA could not help the family, especially with all the cash seized during raids. Ray explained that the money went directly into their operational budget, but they planned to organize a fundraiser for the family eventually. That evening, Ray and Andre shared a drink. Andre mentioned that Lizzie had been taking Denny to training exercises. Ray said he knew, and that Lizzie had invited him to bring Cody, but he did not want his son close to this line of work. The next morning, Ray took Cody to the training ground anyway. Ray taught the students how to strike and defend, and Lizzie asked if Cody wanted to demonstrate some moves. Ray said Cody would just observe for the day. On their way home, Ray received a call from Andre to meet at a trap house. When they arrived, Cody froze at the sight of piles of cash on the table as the agents bagged and prepared it for disposal. At the office, Ray, Andre, and another agent gathered in the interrogation room to discuss what they knew about Natalia. They discovered there were no files or photos of her anywhere. While they talked, Cody walked to the pinboard, discreetly took his phone out, and snapped pictures before quickly returning to his seat. The friends later met at their usual spot, an old church. Cody presented a plan to help Jesse. He suggested robbing one of the Cabrera trap houses and showed the photos he had taken. He said the money could get Jesse's mother a new home, cover her medication, and help Jesse attend college. He reminded them that Denny had training experience because her mother took her often, and she could steal her mother's keys so they could access DEA gear. One by one, the group agreed to follow the plan. That evening, Matthew drove to the cafe again. Andre signaled that the place was clear, so Matthew entered. A car had been trailing him, but he never noticed. Ray told Matthew his protection was secured and he was free to leave. Before they could continue, Matthew was shot on the spot. Ray rushed out and fired back, striking the driver. The surviving passenger tried to escape, but Ray tackled him and kept punching until Andre stepped in and cuffed the man. Inside the interrogation room, they questioned the suspect. He explained that Natalia was in town specifically for them. She was gathering information on every DEA agent and paying people to eliminate them and their families. Meanwhile, Denny and Cody were gathering DEA equipment when Cody received a call from his father. Ray told him he would be home late. The group arrived at the trap house. Denny explained that their weapons functioned like tasers and reminded Kyle that his job was to stay in the car and call emergency services if anything went wrong. Yvonne warned him not to panic because she did not want to end up in jail. A man entered the house and the group put on their masks and rushed inside. Two men were already there. One walked toward their direction, but they stayed hidden until he passed. They then approached the man sitting at the table. Cody fired, but he missed, and Cody tackled him. Denny shocked him with her taser, but the gun discharged. Outside, Kyle had been peeing and panicked at the sound. He hurried back to the car, grabbed his phone, and tried to power it on to make the call. Yvonne grabbed the cash on the table. The second man came out with his weapon raised, but Cody tackled him as well, and Yvonne stunned him. They all ran outside, jumped into the car, and sped away. Back at the church, Yvonne counted the money and realized it was only $497. The group burst into laughter, realizing they had nearly gotten themselves killed for such a small amount, and the money was far from enough to help Jesse. Benito spoke with Natalia and told her that someone had robbed their trap house. He ordered her to track down whoever did it and make an example out of them. DEA agents arrived at the scene to investigate. They were shocked that anyone would risk stealing from the Cabrera family. Meanwhile, Cody and Teresa went out on a date. They were both nervous at first, but the moment softened when Teresa received a call from her mother. Cody tried to reassure her, mentioning that his own mother had died from leukemia and that he wanted to help her learn to love El Paso. Later, the group talked with Jesse through a video call. He explained that his mother was searching for work and that he was distracted by his noisy cousin. The call ended abruptly. Cody spent the night studying information about El Viejo, a trusted worker for the Cabrera family. When the friends met again in the church, Cody told them they were going to target Cabrera's money mules, the ones who collected cash from dealers and delivered it around town. He showed them a photo of El Viejo and his van, which was always packed with money. The group agreed to the new plan. They spent the next few days preparing. They learned that another car always followed the van, and Yvonne placed a tracking device on it. Their plan was finally ready. When the van stopped at its usual location, Yvonne stepped out wearing a gas mask. She tossed a tear gas canister beneath the vehicle, forcing the men inside to cough uncontrollably. Cody and Denny approached with their pepper guns and fired at the guards while Yvonne rushed El Viejo. The guards kept waking up, forcing them to shoot repeatedly. Kyle grabbed a metal rod from the car and blocked the door to slow down reinforcements. El Viejo managed to grab Yvonne and threatened Denny, forcing her to drop her weapon. She did. He shoved her hard, and she hit the ground with her head. She managed to fire her taser, and Cody pulled her to safety. As Denny opened the van door, a guard pointed a gun at them, but Kyle shot him first. They all climbed inside, and Cody removed the DEA tracker before they sped off. El Viejo chased them, but Kyle fired at his vehicle and caused it to crash into a barrel. With bags of cash around them, the group celebrated their successful mission. Later, Ray and Andre interrogated El Viejo. He said 3 teens had attacked them, 2 girls and 1 boy. When asked about Natalia, he claimed he knew nothing. Benito called Natalia again, furious. He demanded she find the people stealing from them. The next day, Cody met Teresa at school and apologized for not being around. He invited her to go hiking. During their trip, he explained that his mother used to bring him to that same spot when she was alive. The quiet day brought them closer, and later, while inside his home, Teresa wandered through the hallway and looked at the family photos. Back at the DEA office, the agents reviewed footage from the attacks. They still could not identify who was targeting the Cabrera family. Both incidents were in areas under active investigation, and the attackers had removed their tracker again. Ray wondered if someone inside the office was involved, since the group seemed familiar with their systems. In the middle of their discussion, they received the location of another Cabrera drug point. They rushed there immediately, only to find out it was a trap to expose their identities. Realizing this, Andre knocked out the cameras before they could be seen. Meanwhile, Benito asked Natalia about the status of their business. She showed him photos of Ray and Andre, claiming they were behind the chaos that was destroying their operations. Later that night, Ray set a strict curfew for Cody, telling him he should not be out after 9. Cody ignored him, walked out of the house, and silenced his father's calls. He went to the location of the van and set it on fire. After returning home, he sneaked into his father's room, stole his ID card and laptop, and accessed all the files related to their current situation. At that moment, Ray received a call, informing him that Jesse had suddenly received a large amount of financial support in a very short time. Jesse stayed on a video call with his friends and told them their family had been receiving large amounts of funding. They celebrated the news with him, unaware that the money had come from their own daring heists. Cody later revealed he was planning another robbery and insisted that the next score would be just for them. Denai and Yvonne refused to continue, insisting they were done with the danger. As Cody tried to convince them, Denai suddenly grew pale, felt dizzy, vomited, and collapsed. At the hospital, Lizzie arrived, while the doctor assured her that Denny would recover. Cody stepped outside and found his father waiting for him. He claimed that Denny had fallen down the stairs, but when Ray asked what time it happened, Cody's answer felt off. Ray later reviewed the footage again, and this time noticed a similarity between Cody and the masked figure holding the bibber gun during the earlier attack. Cody left the hospital and received a message from Teresa. She wanted to see him, and they set up a dinner plan for Thursday. Later, he and Kyle studied the new target involving a beer truck, although their plan felt incomplete. Cody called Teresa and moved the dinner to Friday at his house, suggesting she bring her mother along. He went to his father and mentioned he had been seeing a girl from school and wanted her and her mother to join them for dinner. Yvonne withdrew completely from the new robbery plan, warning that they were walking toward their deaths. Early the next morning, they reached the fuel station where the beer truck and its escort vehicles arrived. The DEA agents were already nearby, monitoring the location. Cody cut the lights while both boys put on their masks. Cody used a taser on the driver, but when he entered the truck, he found no keys. Kyle searched for them as gunfire erupted when the DEA agents opened fire on the men. Kyle took cover beneath the truck, and at that moment saw his mother among the agents. Cody finally found the key and dragged Kyle inside. Amid the confusion, a blast ignited the station. Ray nearly fired at the fleeing truck until the flames revealed Cody's face. Cody drove through the chaos while Andre pursued to eliminate the suspects. Ray immediately ordered him to stand down, letting the truck go without realizing Kyle was also inside. Andre confronted him later, angry that he had prevented the takedown. Cody reached the warehouse where Yvonne waited. He opened the truck and revealed stacks of cans. He opened them and discovered drugs instead of cash. A small coin badge caught his attention and he pocketed it. Yvonne warned him that the gang would now come after the stolen truck. Ray returned home and searched for Cody, only to find the dining table already set. Moments later, Teresa and her mother arrived. Natalia introduced herself under a false identity. Over dinner, Teresa excused herself to explore the house. She placed a hidden microphone behind the picture frames and soon found Ray's badge in Cody's room. She returned calmly and signaled her mother before leaving. At the hospital, Denny was kidnapped. Teresa later called Cody using Denny's phone, revealing her true allegiance. She gave him a deadline and demanded the beer truck and everything inside, or Denny would die. Cody packed what he needed and fled the house. Armed men stormed the home moments later. Ray awakened to gunfire and fought back, taking down the attackers. He called Andre for backup and texted Cody to stay at the hospital, unaware that Cody was already at the warehouse. The DEA tracked Cody's phone and followed him. Cody drove straight into a secured warehouse where armed DEA agents were positioned. He stepped out and warned them about a bomb inside the truck. Outside, the agents engaged Benito's men in a firefight. Benito arrived and ordered his men to fire, claiming there was no bomb. Cody ignited the dynamite, but the flame failed to reach it. As Benito's men raised their weapons, DEA agents opened fire and chaos erupted. Benito, Natalia, and Teresa fled with Denny, moving toward an underground tunnel. Cody pursued them. Benito refused to enter the tunnel and was shot by Andre. Cody entered the tunnel next, and Ray followed behind with Andre covering him. Teresa and Natalia dragged Denny through the narrow passage. Cody caught up and aimed at them. Natalia tried to raise her weapon, and Ray shot her instantly. Teresa fled deeper into the dark. Ray reached Cody and struck him repeatedly in anger. He ordered him to claim that both he and Denny had been kidnapped and beaten. When Andre asked what happened, Cody repeated exactly what Ray instructed. Andre later confronted Ray privately, telling him he already knew the kids were involved. The next day during a training exercise, Cody took down his opponent as Ray supervised, the tension between them heavy but silent. Back at the Cabrera residence, Teresa studied the photographs on the walls, walked into Benito's room, and assassinated him. Jesse's friends later surprised him at his new home, where they were warmly welcomed. Outside the house, Teresa watched from her car, studying them quietly as the story moved into its final turn. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more movie recaps. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think about this movie in the comments section.